What's up, everybody? This is Sunko, the Korean bro. Mm. Tonight is 2022, March 23rd. And Wednesday night. And let's go back to where I was last night, okay? And we'll read articles together, okay? First, let's see. Oh, we have positive trend tonight. 7% up by Tesla. Right? 7% up by Tesla. Mercado Libre is up by 5%. Okay, it's going up a little bit. Okay. 7% up by Rivian Automotive. 24% up by Equi. Equi. And what else do I have? 9% up by ACM Research. 30% up by GameStop. Should investors be afraid of squiggly line? Russian stocks trading to resume after record market shutdown. NASA laid to suspend brands in Russia, including KitKat. Stock futures dropped to give back some gains. Russian stock trading. Ruble hovers near 104 versus dollar as Russia said to reopen stock trading. Stock market investors are in the danger zone. This all-weather investing strategy offers protection. Russia pipeline shock. Mortgage data. U.S. stocks S&P 500. U.S. stocks Wall Street jumps with tech growth shares in the lead. How do private equity real estate investments stack up against REITs? This is now the worst drawdown on record for global fixed income. Nike has her biggest quarterly drop since 2008. Limited Russian stock market trading to resume on March 24, central bank says. Okay, GameStop. Russian stock trading to resume after record market shutdown. Russia will restart trading in some local equities, ending the nation's record long shutdown that was meant to shield domestic investors from the impact of tough sanctions over its invasion of Ukraine. But the Moscow exchange will resume trading in 33 Russian equities, including some of the biggest companies such as Gazprom PJSC and Bank PJSC on March 24th between 9:50 a.m. and 2 p.m. local time. The Bank of Russia said in a statement, a ban on short selling these shares will apply. Goes on and on and on. Amid pressure, Nestle suspends brand in Russia, including KitKat and Nesquik. Nestle said on Wednesday it will host several non-essential brands, including KitKat chocolates and Nesquik in Russia, in an unprecedented move amid pressure on the world's top consumer goods company after criticism from Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. Nestle shares were down 1.3% at 1236 GMT after hitting a session low shortly after the news. The statement was unusual for the maker of Maggi, Bouillon, and Nescafe coffee, which has for decades continued to operate in war zones around the world. Zelensky over the weekend called out several companies for staying in Russia uh, after its invasion of Ukraine and accused Nestle of not living up to its good food, good life slogan. Mhm. The days leading up to his comments, Nestle had already been fielding online criticism from shoppers, activists, investors, and political figures. The company previously said it had halted non essential exports and imports from Russia, stopped all advertising, and suspended capital investment. It also said it was not making a profit in Russia. Hmm. Stock market investors are in the danger zone. This all weather investing strategy offers protection. Hmm. US stocks Wall Street jumps with tech growth shares in the lead. Uh, Nike sprints after third quarter results. Tesla shares gain on German made car delivery. US stocks ended higher on Tuesday, led by a sharp gain in the Nasdaq, as technology and shares of other big growth names rebounded from recent losses. And Nike rose after it reported upbeat results. Hmm. Financial shares also advanced as the benchmark 10-year Treasury yield climbed to 2.36%, with the S&P 500 Bank Index up sharply. Treasury, financial shares also advanced as the benchmark 10-year Treasury yield climbed to 2.36% with the S&P 500 Bank Index up sharply. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates this month, and policymakers seem to be taking a more aggressive stance toward taming inflation. While higher borrowing costs are negative for consumers and many businesses, they help to boost the profit outlook for banks. Hmm. Apple, Microsoft, Corp, Amazon.com, Meta Platforms, Alphabet were among companies giving the biggest boost to the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. The S&P 500 Technology Index rose in the day, but remains down roughly 10% for the quarter so far, among the sharpest decline of the major sectors. Underneath all of it is that economic and earnings data have remained fairly good. Nike in shares also rose after a big quarterly profit and revenue expectations, and said manufacturing issues pinching sales over the past 6 months were in the rear view mirror. Okay. Nike has for biggest quarterly drop since 2008. An industry pressured by soaring inflation uh, is suffering more than most as its exposure to the fallout from the war in Ukraine and supply chain issues put its shares on track for their worst quarter since 2008. The stock is down 22% this year, double the pace of the 11% decline the S&P 500 consumer discretionary index as decades-high inflation hurt shopper sentiment and wallets. The company will report fiscal third quarter earnings after markets close on Monday. Okay. Three financially fit companies set to make a run. Britain vows to help families facing cost of living crisis. Three cloud stocks with a sky-high upside. Google stock is ready to take off higher. Three utility stocks to weather market storms. U.S. markets drift lower in pre-market as Biden heads to Europe. Zelensky appeals to Japan for more sanctions against Russia. Dr. Horton has a financial health score of 97. The home builder is not only an industry leader in terms of deliveries, but boasts some of the best fundamentals in the entire consumer discretionary sector. How is Bank of America's financial health? Is S&P Global stock a long-term buy? Three cloud stocks with sky-high upside. These three cloud stocks offer compelling upside. Shopify, Arista Network, Palo Alto Networks. Well, let's read this in depth. Okay. Let me enunciate and we'll go deep. Okay. Cloud computing is certainly one of the most compelling trends in tech for investors to get behind. Although this innovative industry has already been around for a few years, there are still plenty of reasons to believe that companies offering cloud software and services are just getting started in terms of growth. Digital transformations have become the new normal, with large enterprises increasingly seeking out cloud providers to improve how their business is run. There's also the increasing adoption of big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning, edge computing, the Internet of Things, and more to keep in mind. The sky is the limit for companies offering these unique and efficient cloud computing products and services, which means there are going to be some truly fantastic investment opportunities to be had in the space over the next few years. That's why we've put together the following list of three cloud stocks with sky high upside so that you are ready to capitalize on the industry's growth. Let's take a deeper look below. Shopify. If you're interested in owning a cloud software company that has become a true force in the e-commerce industry, Shopify is definitely worth adding to your watch list. The Canadian company has developed a unique global commerce solution that offers the tools for starting, growing, marketing, and managing retail business of any size. Whether it's reaching customers across multiple sales channels, effectively managing products and inventory, processing orders and payments, fulfilling and shipping orders, leveraging analytics, and much more. Shopify can do it all. The platform has quickly become the go-to cloud software for small and medium-sized retail businesses, and there's plenty of room for continued growth given the prospects of the e-commerce industry as a whole. It's worth noting that Shopify shares have taken a beating this year and are down about 47% year to date, which could present an intriguing but deep opportunity for long-term investors. 6% up tonight. Great. The platform has quickly become the go-to cloud software for small and medium-sized retail businesses, and there's plenty of room for continued growth, given the prospects of the e-commerce industry as a whole. It's worth noting that Shopify shares have taken a beating this year and are down about 47% year to date, which could present an intriguing buy the deep opportunity for long-term investors. Finally, the fact that the company reported $1.38 billion in revenue last quarter, up 41% year over year, and solid gross merchandise volume hit $54.1 billion, up 31% year over year, tell us that its platform is firing on all cylinders. Arista Networks. Arista Networks. The next one we have is Arista Networks. It's up 33%. Okay. Cloud stock that likely is flying under the radar of for a lot of investors, even though it delivered huge gains in 2021. Arista Networks provides software and hardware for the networking solutions sector, which includes multi-layer network switches that are a crucial piece in cloud computing. The company's customers include data centers, enterprises, service providers, campuses, government agencies, and even entertainment companies. In quarter four, Arista reported revenue of $224.5 million, up 27% year over year, and has been navigating supply chain issues in a very impressive manner. The company also delivered its first ever billion-dollar cash flow in 2021. It's clear that it has become a true leader in the cloud networking space. It's also worth mentioning that the stock underwent a 4-4-1 split last year, which could attract new retail buyers going forward. This is likely the best cloud stock you haven't heard of. And according to MarketBit's consensus analyst ratings, Arista is a buy at this time with over 7% of upside. Okay. And the next one we have is Palo Alto Networks. Its ticker is PANW. Okay. As moving into the cloud becomes more common among large enterprises, their need for security solutions that keep both themselves and their clients' information safe will increase dramatically. That's a huge reason why Palo Alto Networks is stock with so much potential. It's a global cybersecurity solutions vendor that safeguards medium to large enterprises, service providers, and government agencies using network, cloud, and security operations technology. It's hard to not be impressed by the fact that all four of the largest enterprise cloud service providers rely on Palo Alto Networks for keeping their client data protected. This speaks volumes about what Palo Alto has to offer. And with the possibility of cyber attacks growing larger each year, the company is perfectly positioned to capitalize. Palo Alto recently posted quarter two revenue up 29.5%. Okay. I'm done with Palo Alto Networks. Now let's go over to Google stock. Okay. And here's what Kathy Wood says. Kathy Wood mentions three stocks. Let's get ready for the ones that I want to trade on Friday nights, because Friday is the day where I receive my income. So Shopify, Twilio, and Adapted by Technologies were on the ARK Invest shopping list on Monday. Uh, the three stocks were the only names Wood added to after 3 trading days of lighting other positions. All three stocks are trading more than 60% below last year's all-time high. Always stocks to buy if you're an ARK Invest A stock peaker. Kathy Wood did an interesting thing last week as stocks were rallying. The CEO, co-founder, and a stock peaker for the ARK Invest family of exchange-traded funds. It's been a rough few months for Shopify investors. Okay. I'm getting a lot of articles about Shopify lately. Came back to life with last week's market rallying growth stocks, but 12% slide on Monday to kick off this new trading week shows that shareholders are still looking to take profits following sharp upticks. Revenue growth is slowing at Shopify. Its top line surged 86% in 2020, slowing to a 57% pace in 2021. Growth has decelerated sharply the last 3 quarters. Shopify itself was vague about its guidance, but analysts are holding out for a 31% increase in 2022. Shopify continues to stand out for its ability to arm merchants of all sizes with the tools to establish an online presence that plays nice with most popular e-commerce and social media platforms. Hmm. And the one we have is Twilio, adapted by technologies. Like about Twilio, the undisputed leader of in-app communication solutions, Twilio's cloud-based tools help many of the most popular apps be more effective by providing two-way communication with users for everything from service notifications to verification without having to leave an app. Waste management, Sampura Energy. Okay, let's briefly read this article. It's not related to the subject that I read, but it's more of a political perspective, but still this geopolitical tension and war can possibly affect the way things going around. So it's important for me to read this article to understand the situation of stock market in fully, right? So okay. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky is in a virtual address to Japan's parliament on Wednesday called on the lawmakers to keep up sanctions against Russia over its invasion of Ukraine to pressure Moscow into seeking peace. Zelensky praised Japan for becoming the first Asian country to sanction Russia and asked Tokyo to go even further. He said trade with Russia should be banned and that foreign companies should withdraw from the Ukraine market in order to prevent their investments from flowing into Russia. Japan has acted tough against Russia since the invasion, along with other group of 7 countries. Although Tokyo's moves have triggered retaliation from Moscow, um, Russia this week announced it would discontinue peace treaty talks with Japan over the disputed Kurils Islands and withdraw from joint economic projects there, citing Tokyo's sanctions. But a compromise by Japan could set a bad precedent in East Asia, where China increasingly makes assertive military actions. Zelensky's speech was broadcast live in a parliamentary hall packed with hundreds of lawmakers, including Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. During his approximately 10-minute speech, Zelensky, appearing in his now trademark olive-colored top, also criticized Russian attacks on Chernobyl, currently entombed after 1986 explosion, saying Russia turned the nearby nuclear waste storage site into a battlefield. Imagine, he said, how long it would take to clean up the situation there when the war is over. Okay. On Friday night, I'll probably go for Shopify and Netflix. Mm, Netflix is good one too. Netflix is good one too. And Block. Block is good one too. Block. Mm. Bottom Funds, an asset management firm, published its Bottom FinTech Fund fourth quarter investor letter, a copy of which can be downloaded here. A return of 2.53 was delivered by the fund's institutional shares. The fund has to say about Block. In its quarter 4 2021 investor letter, I've got to come up with my own investing strategy so that I can get ready for Friday night. Friday is the night where I get my income. So as soon as I get my income, I'm going to invest into the ones that I've been thinking of for real. And let's see what he says about Block. High exposure to lagging e-commerce companies and underperformers of Block. High exposure to lagging e-commerce companies and underperformers of Block. The payments theme were the only material detractors from related performance. E-commerce stocks lagged as a return to in-store shopping caused online shopping growth to moderate. E-commerce stocks lagged as a return to in-store shopping caused online shopping growth to moderate. Block was the second largest detractor due to slowing growth in the Cash App segment. Second largest detractor due to slowing growth in the Cash App segment and greater skepticism about the growth prospects for the pending acquisition of Afterpay. Block. 3 top fintech stocks you can buy. There are better places to put your money than Block. Which most people know better by its original name, Square, offers payments. Services, and an ecosystem for e-commerce that lets small companies run and grow their businesses. Offers payment services and an ecosystem for commerce that lets small companies run and grow their businesses. It now provides 30 products and services across its 2 segments, Square and Cash App. 30 products and services across its 2 segments, Square and Cash App. Cash App initially was simply a tool that let people send and receive money. Since then, it has expanded to allow people to invest, manage, and spend it too. Last year, Cash App processed $152.8 billion of gross payment volume across 3 billion card payments from 526 million payment cards. And blah blah blah. But okay, today is a Wednesday night. Tomorrow is a Thursday night. We'll come back here on Friday night for specific strategy. Okay. Okay. I'll see you guys on Friday night. Bye bye.